we are live again, giving you a closer look at the fire here. Here we see we have a canter transporting loads of books and files. Persons are on the upper flat. Throwing the books down. Here we have the Minister of Education, Priya Manikchan, on scene. We have the Attorney General, the Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal, on scene as well. Those appear to be law books being thrown downstairs in an attempt to save them from the fire. On this half, we have officers, workers here throwing the books down in an attempt to save them, and on the other half, we have firefighters trying to get the blaze under control to prevent it from spreading further to the building. We'll try to get a comment from the Attorney General. The fire is spreading quickly. This is a wooden building. We also have several other ministers on scene. Minister Nandlal, I know this is not an opportune time to ask you for a comment, but your thoughts right now. We will get a comment from the Attorney General at a later time. They seem to have the fire a bit under control at the top, but at the bottom it still rages on. This is considered another huge blow to the police, to the Ghana police force. The massive breakdown police station was destroyed by a fire. I will try to find out which of the buildings have been destroyed thus far. Minister Manik Chand, would it be possible for you to just give a comment about your thoughts right now? I know it's not an opportune time, but can you just tell us?
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell you why it started or anything like that. What I can say is a huge loss. As you can see, not only the physical structure, but the contents of the building would be, something that would cause a lot of loss. But let's wait, because it's very premature right now.
There, a short comment from the Minister of Education who was on scene at the fire. Important files are being transported via mattress in an attempt to save them from water damage and fire damage. Thousands of files are just laden around file cabinets. Workers are hurrying, trying their best to get them out of the building before the fire spreads further. There is a hustle and bustle, and everybody is trying to the best of their ability to get the file saved. Commander Simon not being dispatched. What was housed in the building?
Files, deposition, police matter.
So a worker just said that it was mainly files housed here. Gosh, I could have been crooked. I could have been crooked. The fire has destroyed the police office of professional responsibility. It reportedly started in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The two main priorities here are to get the file saved and to control the fire. Here we have the Minister of Home Affairs. A number of government ministers are on scene. The Minister of Natural Resources just arrived on scene. Firefighters are still trying to contain the fire. It is unclear at this point how many buildings have been destroyed. entire half section is already destroyed, completely destroyed by the fire. Now firefighters are trying to douse the upper flat before it spreads to the other half of the building. On that side, a number of files, important police files, were housed. There is still fire at the lower flat of the building. Now the fire to the upper flat seems to have been contained. Firefighters are now attempting to enter the building. Okay, the fire in the upper flat has been contained. Fire tenders are now focusing their efforts. The lower flat. Again, the firefighters have managed to contain the blaze in the upper flat. Other half of the building has been saved. And now they are focusing their efforts on the lower flat of the building where a fire still rages on. This burnt out section here is the Police Office of Professional Responsibility. On the other section there is a rush to save volumes of police files at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. These files contain information on police cases and matters that are before the courts. Several government ministers are on scene, watching on. We understand that the Prime Minister is making his way onto the scene. Here the piano is making his way in. We also have the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Tashira, at the scene of the fire.
And my information is that the fire started to the westernmost part of the building. That area houses ranks who stay in barracks at the police headquarters. There's also the Office of Professional Responsibility at the lower flat, and a part of the Office of the Construction section was scorched. As we speak, the DPP office is adjoining. It's at the most eastern part of the building. It's adjoining the area where the fire would have started, and efforts are being made to ensure that all is safe in the DPP office. As a matter of fact, we've already taken out all of the documents and from the DPP office, and the fire service are working strenuously to ensure that the fire doesn't spread here. But as I look at it here, it's under control.
As far as matters concerned that are for the OPR, how will this fire affect those cases matters?
Well, we always have contingency system in place, but of course any fire initially would affect us going forward. But together as a team, we put system in place to ensure that it doesn't hamper our progress in addressing the issues at hand.
How will you avoid it from being hampered?
We have system in place. The thing is that most, if not all of the cases has connection to several divisions also, because as you're aware, we have a decentralized Office of Professional Responsibility unit that is in every region throughout our country. Thank you.
That was the Commissioner of Police, Michael Hockey. We're attempting to get a comment from the Prime Minister.
No, I'm not preliminary. Very work for the fire. And here the fire service is doing the work. Minister of Sudan. So the ground, as you can see, many ministers are here. Okay, so the fire is under control. We've been able to save, as you see, the DPP part of the building. So the fire service is doing the work, and we don't expect, based on what we see here, for the fire to spread beyond where it is right now.
Weeks ago there was a fire at the Blackdown police station, and today there is one here. Do you think it's coincidental?
Well, the investigation will help us to determine whether it's coincidental or it is some other motive or reason behind the fire. So we need to allow the fire service and the police and the enforcement agencies to do their work.
Thank you, sir.
The important thing right now is that have the fire under control, not likely to spread beyond this point, and the investigation as to what may be the cause of the fire has started.
Thank you.
All right, you just heard from the Prime Minister. He is seemingly satisfied with the work being done by the Guyana Fire Service. The fire is already under control. The office of the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions, has been saved, partially saved. Many of the files that were housed here are already being safely transported to another location. This is another severe blow to the Guyana Police Force. First was the massive fire that destroyed the Brickdam Police Station, and now this.
So we have a history of supporting these refugees. As I speak to you now, we have resupplies that were delivered to them this morning, food supplies. We had a medical team that's been in there since yesterday and remain on the ground. We have additional supply that is now at Fort Kaituma being ferried to Anabisi Canal Bank area, and we also have an aircraft that before discharge with more supply, because we cannot take supplies to the refugees alone. We also take them to the people who live in that area. Right? And if there's need for any medical evacuation, the aircraft is on the ground. 2 aircraft will be on the ground. So the doctors will make a determination. The other people will right?
The fire is still going, right?
government. Right? The humanitarian thing, we have the humanitarian obligation to restaurant employed there. Right? No. We don't know that. Let the medical people determine that. Yes, you have children who look like they are malnourished. They may be malnourished. What is important is that we have a history of intervention in supplying them with food stuff, right? Medical intervention. Okay? And we will continue to do that. Thank you.
All right, there was the Prime Minister addressing the issue of starvation of migrants in Region 1. The ministerial team is there as we speak. We'll try to get a comment from the Attorney General. Again, the fire has been brought under control. Just to give you a quick recap of what was said by the Police Commissioner Nigel Hoppy. He reported to the media gathered here that the massive fire at Leary appeared to have been started in the area that houses the ranks who stay at the police headquarters. Three sections of the building have already been destroyed, including the Office of Police Professional Responsibility. Prime Minister Mark Phillips has assured that an investigation into the matter will be launched, as this is not the first fire that has affected the Guyana Police Force. Firstly, it was the Brickdam Police Station that was destroyed by fire, and now this. The Prime Minister, who was also at the scene, assured that an investigation into the matter will be launched. Here we see officers loading file cabinets into a police van, computer screens, more files. At this point, we will end the live. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been the newsroom's live coverage of the fire at Leary.